What is up, everybody? I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to another video in the Heavensward series. So this is part 6. We have been pushing pretty hard on the MSQ. We got through 3.0 really fast. Literally all I did when I played was just power through the MSQ. But we finished 3.0. We've unlocked all the post 3.0 stuff now, and we started working through it in the last episode. And we lost a bet and got turned into a Lalafell. But there is still a ton more to do. So let's get straight in to part 6. What is up, everyone? Welcome to part 6. Thanks for your patience on this one. I did take a little bit of time off because it was my birthday last week, so I took a few days off from editing or doing anything YouTube-y, really. I did still stream over on Twitch. I'll link that down below as always. If you're ever looking for more content or you want to come chill and hang out live, I do stream 3 or 4 days a week over there for like 4 or 5 hours in the evenings. So yeah, I'd love to see you over there if you want to come hang out. But yeah, I did take a bit of time off YouTube, so that's why this one has taken nearly a week to get out. But here we are. I did a week as a Lalafell, spent a week seeing things from a smaller perspective and living a life in the Lalafell shoes. And it was definitely eye-opening. It was definitely a strange experience. I wasn't expecting it to be fun. I was really dreading it. You know, I lost the bet. I wasn't looking forward to this. But there was some highlights. There's some things I really enjoyed about it. I'm now back to being a cat boy, and I'm very happy to be back. But it was fun. It was a fun experience, and I'll talk about that in this video. But there's a lot to do. We unlocked a lot of stuff after 3.0, so let's get in to the video. One thing that I wanted to do while I was a Lalafell was unlock the Black Mage. So you can see here, this is kind of the end of the Black Mage, so turn off if you don't want to see spoilers or skip ahead. So this guy here finds this ancient pot, and the pot contained a monster, basically a demonic spirit, and he opens the pot, being this foolish Lalafell, and unleashes some crazy demon. And I wanted to do this as a Lalafell because when you go into Limsa and you go to the Thaumaturge guild, they're all like these cloaked Lalafells. So I thought it'd be super funny to do this as a Lalafell because we're not going to be a Lalafell for long. So let's make the most of it and unlock Black Mage while we're a Lalafell. And I gotta say, this story was a lot better than I was expecting. I wasn't really enjoying Thaumaturge too much. I found it very, after playing Dragoon, which is very high pace, very fast, intense. Yeah, Thaumaturge was very stand still and wait for your skills to come. It took me a while to get into, but I mean, look at this. Really cool. The story here was really good. I really liked the evil, the demonic side of the black magic. Really cool. I've only just unlocked Black Mage. I haven't done anything with it yet, but I got to 30, finished Thaumaturge, and unlocked it. And yeah, the quests and the story is really good. I really like the idea of like the Void Sen. The Void Arc raid was incredible. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the story. Like I say, the class hasn't really interested me that much, but the story makes me want to play it more. So yeah, really enjoying this so far. Any Black Mage mains? Does the story get good? Is it really good, or would you leave off for a little while? And then yeah, you end the story by you fight the demon, and then you kind of meet these new people, and you head out into the next part, into the Black Mage story. Obviously, I know nothing of the Black Mage story so far, just that we were chosen and we have the job crystal now. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to play this anytime soon, but I really want to play it for the story, 100%. Because the characters seem very cool and edgy. I won't be a Lalafell when I go back here, but hopefully that doesn't matter. And then I did the new event, the I don't know what it's called, the polar bear event. This was really cool. This is the first ever event I've done that awarded a mount. I did the Golden Saucer event for the emote, and then this is probably the second event, seasonal event thing that I've ever done. And this one got the polar bear mount. So yeah, really cool. I mean, the quest itself was fine. It is what it is. But seeing everyone come together and everyone was riding the polar bears around and everyone joined together for this big fate, really cool. I mean, coming from World of Warcraft, you don't really have these events. Like, you do have events that are seasonal. Like, so for example, there's a Headless Horseman Halloween event, but it's been the same event for the last 15 years or however long it's been around. It's always the last 10 years maybe. It's always the same event every Halloween. So it's nice to see a new cool event that everyone can engage with that awards a unique mount. And yeah, here it is. We got the polar bear. Really cool. I don't know why you get a polar bear in the summer. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I get there's the whole ice thing. I'm not quite sure where you got a polar bear and not some summer creature. But yeah, it's a cool new mount, so I'm very happy. So in the last video, or one of the most recent videos, we did the Void Arc, all 3 series. So now it was time for Alexander. This was something that definitely took a while to grow on me. I think the first 4 parts of this were kind of dry. I really didn't get into it, and everyone was hyping it up. But wow, this really stepped up. Both the story, the bosses, the fights, everything just went crazy from like 6 onwards. This was such a good raid instance, and definitely is going down as one of my favorites. I mean, these 8-man ones always feel a little less intense than the 24-man. The 24-man are just so chaotic, but I think I appreciate them more because there's less chance for you to fail. So like if you're one of the 2 healers, there's more pressure than in an alliance raid when there's a lot of you. The tanks in these raids are very important because there's only 2 of them, and when they die, it's panic. So yeah, I really like the difficulty of having a smaller group. And yeah, Alex was amazing, and the soundtrack was banging. I won't show every single boss in here because obviously there's quite a lot, but I want to show my favorite ones. So the Oppressor in the first tier was pretty cool. This was the first big robot-looking thing that you'd seen, and yeah, the mechanics weren't too hard. Like, it wasn't too difficult, but we did everything minimum level. Can't remember if we did no echo or not, but it was all minimum level. And yeah, the mechanics on this weren't too crazy, but the fight itself, the first fight against the big robot, was so fun. And obviously, like, it was a complete breeze. We just completely smashed it first time. No risk of us dying because we are a pro team. Yeah, we quickly learnt that Alex is no joke. This is a hard raid series, especially near the end. The end really stepped up. But yeah, I really like this. Really like these. This whole raid series was just really fun. The next boss that really stood out was Living Liquid. This was so cool. This reminds me of something that we had in World of Warcraft in Battle for Azeroth. It's a very similar type of monster. Really cool. Everyone called him Pepsi Man because he's big and blue and muscly. But yeah, really good. As a melee, I think I spent most of my time just fighting him and looking at his ass. But yeah, really cool boss. The best thing about this was how he like morphed into different things. Kind of like the Sandman from Spider-Man, if you remember the old Spider-Man films. Yeah, really interesting boss. Wasn't too technically difficult, but it was really fun nonetheless. And seeing him like morph into the hands and do these cool hand motions, and yeah, just all the different things that you could do, and all the things that really kept you on your toes. I really like this one. I don't know if there's like every single thing as like a savage or an extreme mode, but I'd love to see this on like the hardest difficulty to see what else this guy can do, because this was a really interesting fight to me. And then the Manipulator, this thing slapped. The music was amazing. The boss was so hard. The damage this guy put out was crazy. I think we wiped on this a few times. He had some sort of like huge AoE damage that, yeah, just completely deleted our party a few times. But yeah, really cool fight. Really cool. I think I mentioned in like Crystal Tower, there's one of the bosses where you can target the separate limbs of the boss. And I think that's such a cool mechanic. I hope they do more of that, because I think it's really good to like break down the boss into separate parts and be able to target different things. I really like this. On this one, you take down his legs, and then once you broke down the legs, you can get at his core. I really like it. I think there was like a dragon or something in Crystal Tower where you could attack its 5 heads, and that's the first time I think I'd seen it, and I love it. So yeah, you did it again here. Really fun, really cool. I think up to here, this was my favorite one of the first set of the Father raid series. And that's the first series complete, I think. And then you get to destroy the first core. And the story in here, like I say, up to this part of the Father, the first series, I really wasn't into. I thought it was a little dry. I didn't really enjoy it. It just didn't grip me. I thought, yeah, it's good. The fights are cool. But the story, yeah, we're in a big robot. And the woman, nothing grabbed me. They didn't give you much to play with in the story. But it really stepped up from here. And then on stream, someone told me about some secret minions that you can get. So they took me over to this little place in the middle of nowhere, and there's like a magic pot, which is really cool. Then you give it an elixir. You give it a high elixir and an elixir, and then you get a wind-up sun and a wind-up moon minion, which, I mean, I would never have seen these or noticed these before. I really like these little secret things that are hidden around the world. Really cool. I did a quest in Aleport, I think, as well, and got 2 little a cat and a dog minion. So yeah, really cool having these little minion quests and hidden little things in the game that there's no. It gives you that sense of wonder and exploration, and I don't know. It's nice that not everything has a guide and not everything has a walkthrough. It's you can just stumble upon things and find them, or someone can tell you. Like I mentioned, a cave where you can fish out of in one of my last videos. Just you'll hear rumors of, did you know there's a magic pot? And then you go over there and there's no quest really. You just talk to it and you give it an item and you get a reward. And that reminds me of like the old MMORPGs, like the really old ones that weren't fully explored and weren't, there wasn't like an add-on that told you exactly where to go for everything. You just hear word of mouth and someone whispers you something, or you hear a tale, or you see something on Reddit or on a forum, and then you go down that and you investigate yourself. And I really, really like this. And the minion itself is very, very cool. And then we just kind of sat and chilled out and chatted and had some fun. And I think it's important to remember that this is an MMORPG, and the people you meet are what make this a great game. It's not there is so much single player content that it can feel like a single player game. But the people in this game have what have made this such a addictive and fun and exciting experience. And yeah, every now and again, it's just nice to sit down with the people you've met and just chat and get to know them and have fun. And yeah, we try and do that every now and again. And it was nice. I think I've nearly played this game for 2 months now. So some of these people I've only met recently. Some I've been chatting to since probably my first week in the game. So it's really nice to take that time and just chill out and enjoy the MMORPG experience. And it's something that I've not had in World of Warcraft for a very long time. And it's so nice to have it in Final Fantasy XIV. And then I don't know if it's because I'm a Lalafell and I'm seeing things from a new perspective, or if just more of it is making me interested. But my controversial statement that I don't like the Mandeville questline and I don't like Hildibrand, it's grown on me. I'm really starting to enjoy it, and I can't believe I'm saying this, because I really thought it was just cringe and I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was funny. I didn't think it was enjoyable, and I just wanted it to be over. And I did the second episode of it, and I really liked it. I had a really fun time, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm not saying I now like Hildibrand, but I'm saying the first episode I didn't, and the second I did. So let's see where it goes, because for now, I really like it. Maybe it's just because it's infectious as a Lalafell. I don't know. But yeah, I'm a big fan so far. And then I didn't realize there'd be such cool raids and stuff hidden behind Hildibrand, so I haven't touched it really. I played for like hundreds of hours and I've barely touched Hildibrand. But yeah, there's this really cool fight where you can get turned into like chickens, and it was just crazy. And the story was pretty funny. And the raid itself, is it a raid? I think it was a raid. The trial. Maybe it was a trial. Yeah, the trial itself was great fun. I really enjoyed it. So I think I need to do more Hildibrand, especially the ARR stuff. I need to get all that tied up. I'd love to know how many episodes are there for Hildibrand. We've just done the second one and fought this guy. How much more is there in the ARR section that I need to catch up on? Because I feel like I've been slipping on Hildibrand, and I need to do more, because it's fun. It's fun, right? I don't know what the next one's going to be like, but for now, I'm enjoying it. And then my time as a Lalafell was over, and it was time to become a cat again. And the first thing I did, we went fishing. Why not? That is what we've always done as a cat. And here it is. I did all of the Heavensward fishing quests, and they weren't as good as the ARR fishing quests, but they were still pretty cool. You got to see some of the beast tribes. I think you got to meet like the Moogles and the Vanu, and it was pretty cool. You got to fish in all the different locations. The best thing about it was you got to unlock like lava fishing, ether fishing, all the different and cool fishing types, which was really cool. The story itself was about I won't get into it. The story itself was pretty cool. Not as good as ARR, but pretty cool. But the best part about it was all the cool stuff you could unlock and all the different areas that you got to fish in. So yeah, I think I'm a level 62 or 63 fisherman now, and I still can't get enough of fishing. But again, we're stuck because we can't do any more fishing until we get to Heavensward. No, Stormblood. So back to the MSQ, I guess. But before that, there's a loose end to deal with, and that was finishing Alexander. So there was 2 raid series left, so let's get into that. Interesting fights in the next 2 tiers of Alexander. There was the Buster trio. They were pretty cool. They tie into something later on, which is really interesting. But the fight themselves were interesting, that every boss was different and they're all on a different level. I did like that. Very cool. I absolutely loved this fight here against this big spider tank thing. I can't remember what it's called. Quick Thinks, I think his name was. Yeah, this was really cool. He targets somebody as prey and then take them out into one of these little corners, and put them in a cage. This was really, really cool. I'm not 100% on what happened in there, but I know some of them got put in cages with locks, and you had to go and DPS the locks down, which was a cool mechanic. I thought that was really interesting. Not seen that before. You've seen them trap people, but having a literal padlock on a cage that you have to break them out of, that was cool. And then I saw another one where they got put in like a poisoned cage, and they had to heal through the poison. So they target a healer, and the healer had to heal through the poison. So yeah, really interesting mechanics. And then the arena itself has all the spikes outside the circle. Just makes for a really, really, really good fight. This was definitely one of my favorite fights in here. This fight was chaos. Like, I think this was like the Onslaught or something. It brought back the old little mini bosses that you fought before, which was a good touch. And then you had this thing where you had the debuffs. If you're on a high thing, it deals damage, or if you're on a low thing, it deals damage. So you got to check your debuffs and be on the right platforms. And that's something that you see again later in the game. So it's nice that like it teaches you a mechanic, and that mechanic then continues into other things in the game. So yeah, and here's me probably not doing the mechanics right. But yeah, really, really interesting, really cool mechanics in this fight. And that is the second core completed. Took a little break and went to Idleshire and saw what was like the most polar bears I've ever seen. So yeah, just had some fun here, just running around as one of the many, many polar bears. There's one guy who had like the Santa bear. You can see him here, the brown bear with the Santa's outfit. That seems really cool. I don't have that, but yeah, this is really cool. I guess everyone has this mount because it's the current event, so it's so nice that everyone can like just run around with it. And yeah, I thought this was really fun. I mean, it's so nice. This is what makes the MMO so MMO-y, right? So massively multiplayer. I love stuff like this, and I'll always try and get involved when I see them. But back to Alexander. Lane Bricks. This guy, pretty damn cool. The boss itself was not too exciting, but the arena was amazing. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I did not have a clue what was going on here. There was like guns set up. There was electrified parts of the arena. There were these things on the floor that was flashing. There was a giant thing that came and killed everybody. A giant, what do you call them? A big roly pin thing that killed everyone. And there was like these tethers that you had to run away from. And if you got so far, the damage went down or something. Again, so many mechanics got introduced here, and it was hard to really know what was going on. I want to do this again because I started to pick up on it near the end, but yeah, this was a crazy fight. So much to learn here that I hadn't seen before. Yeah, maybe you know how this goes. Maybe you can explain it, because I definitely don't get it. But really cool fight nonetheless. And then, as good as this next fight was, the Crusader thing. This also the song has been stuck in my head for so long. Forward and back. Anyway, this was my first ever QuickTime event. I had no idea this was in the game, this even existed, but it reminds me of like God of War or some PlayStation game. But yeah, I'd never seen this before, so I'm surprised it didn't catch me off guard. But this was amazing. This was so cool. I don't know if this is like a one-time thing that only happens in this boss, or if this gets used again later on, but I'm all for it. I think it's super cool that like it reminds me of like the old like the story games that you have, like the single player story games where like you're in a fight and it's like press X at the right time to dodge the punch, and you know, press square to push back. Like amazing, probably amazing. And then when you think it can't get any better, this final fight was phenomenal. This was absolutely insane. Apparently you had to use tank LB3 here to block this attack, or it's a wipe, which is insanity. There's a massive story tie-in that goes up to like stopping time halfway through the fight. That Alexander turns into a literal city that you have to fight. There's too much to even cover in this small 25-minute video to even go over how incredible this fight alone was. I want to go back and do it on a harder difficulty. I want to go back and do it again on this difficulty. I want to go back and see more that I missed. This was just phenomenal. This fight alone, if I wasn't sold on the game and I got this far, if I was like pushing through like, oh, I'm not sure if I like it, I'm not sure if it's for me, and I was just pushing through, this would have sold it for me, because this is on a whole nother level to anything else in the game that I've seen so far. I've seen all the alliance raids, all the trials, all the dungeons so far, and everything's cool, and there's a lot of interesting stuff. But Alexander and this ending is just the production value, and how much you get in one raid series is so much higher than I could ever expect it. Normally in like World of Warcraft, you would see the odd mechanic added into a raid series. You would see the odd cool thing happening on the final boss. but this just adds so much throughout these, I think it's like 12 fights, and it just builds and builds and builds, and the ending is just insane. So this is now my favorite thing in the game, my favorite raid series that I've played so far. Absolutely love it, and I didn't think it would have such an impact on me. The music, the bosses, and the story are just phenomenal. I haven't really talked about the story too much, but the story of Alexander was so good. So the Sky Pirate, like the Void Arc, I'd say the story peaked at the start. The Void Arc was incredible. I loved that part of the story, and it was so good. And that was like the peak for me. That and the ending were pretty good. Alexander, it was different because that started really basic. You go down into the arm of a machine and you fight a couple of robots, and you fight like these Illuminati creatures. And by the end, you're fighting a primal city that could destroy the world. You are tied into like a time paradox that where you go and stop the end of the world, and you go and start the start of the game by going there yourself and seeing it. It was just a complete mind boggle. It was so good. And then there's like the whole story of the woman and her lover getting trapped in this eternal machine reality. The whole thing is just, it could make its own little film. It could be like a Doctor Who miniseries. Absolutely blew me away how fast this ramped up and where it led to. So yeah, incredible. It was just absolutely incredible, and I don't have enough good stuff to say. If you've pushed through the game, I don't know if this is a requirement to do, but if you've pushed through the game and you haven't done Alex, even if you can't get a minimum eye level run, just go do it for the story, because it is phenomenal. It really is. And I think this is a good natural place to end this video. We're pushing over the 20-minute mark again. So thank you everyone for coming and watching part 6 of Heavensward. We need to go and finish the Heavensward MSQ now. I think we've done most important things outside of the MSQ. Still got the Warring Triads to do, but next is going to be a big push back to the MSQ. So thank you so much for watching. If you don't feel like these videos are long enough, or you want to see more, like I say, we do stream for like 5 hours, 3 or 4 days a week. So if you do want to come and watch live, I'll link Twitch down below. We've been having some great fun over there. We've been having a lot of people coming and joining in, doing stuff together, the raids and dungeons together. If you're not even on the light data center, you're welcome just to come watch and have fun. We do like these little games and predictions, and yeah, we just have fun over there. So if you do want to join, thank you. If not, thank you for coming to this YouTube series. Part 7 will not be too far away. We've got to do enough stuff to make a part 7 video. I need to do more of the MSQ, but once we've done that, part 7 will be out. So thank you so much. Take care. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.